Hey guys, it is Britney and Zane here. So thank you again for joining us for another Facebook Live session this awesome Friday. Hope you guys have some fun plans for the weekend. So we've got a new face, which is so fun. I'm so excited that Zane is with me this week because he is actually one of our specialists out on our production floor. So he is the one that helps the magic get made in the background. So we thought it was really cool to intertwine how the sausage gets made inside the building and just get his perspective on some of the things that he sees, because he gets to see every print that crawls across the floor. So he sees a lot of really cool stuff that we just don't necessarily get to lay eyes on before it goes out of the building. But Zane, can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been at Gold Bond, the production?
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for having me. Okay, so I've been here at Gold Bond for about a year and a half. I started last February in 2018, and I started off in general merchandise, working on the X-Jet and F-Jet, and now I specialize on the Helix rotary drink machine.
Which is truly like an art form. For those of you who aren't familiar with what those pieces of equipment are, they're really the direct-to-product decoration that puts out the full color spectrum that you see on the table here. And Zane, you're an artist, right? So
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so he's actually got kind of a instinctual eye for some of this stuff. So he's the one that helps kind of put together the color calibrations if things look off, make sure that the art that's being asked of us is actually showing through to its finest quality. Yes. So can you walk us through a little bit of some of the things that you've done, or how that all works on the direct-to-product?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the Helix drink machine that I specialize in operating is an amazing piece of technology. Most LaserJet printers have stationary print heads. When you move a product through it, the print heads stay right where they're at, and it just puts ink on top of it. But this is incredible. This actually will take the product and spin it at a high rotation of speed, and it knows exactly where to drop the ink down just perfectly to get the most exquisite imprints I've ever seen on any printer. And I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to work with. It's extremely challenging, and it requires a lot of math, science, and, like you said, a strong intuition for art.
Yeah, somebody who cares a lot about what's going on the product to make sure that it comes out perfect for you guys. So I thought that was really cool. I'm excited to see some of the stuff that you got, and it sounds like you got some sneaky ones in there that are your own decor. But before we get in, we thought we'd spice it up with something a little bit fun. So you've seen us play the Would You Rather game. So we thought, you know what? This would be a pretty cool cat to play that game with. So I'll go first, right? Okay. And we already got our questions set for you guys. So, Zane, would you rather give up alcohol for a year or give up your smartphone for a month?
That is so hard. I just can't get rid of my smartphone.
I know. Yeah.
I think I would abstain from alcohol just to have my smartphone. I don't know what that says about me exactly. If there's any psychiatrists out there, maybe they'll get a viewpoint into how I think, but I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm with you. At least you can drop your or order your alcohol from your smartphone, but you can't do the other way around, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Last one, and then I'll let you go. Would you rather be without elbows or without knees? That'd make it hard to work this.
Yeah, if I didn't have my elbows, I would have to use my toes. And I don't know. I don't think that would work out. I think
doesn't sound safe.
I think I would have to keep my elbows and forego my knees.
Yeah. We can always prop you up on something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it'd be hard making your pizzas and stuff at night, you know? Or the taco bar would get a little hard. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. I'll let you go.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. Let me ask you this. Would you rather take a cold shower or sleep an hour less than you need to be fully rested?
I would absolutely take an ice bath any day of the week to get a couple extra minutes of snooze time for sure.
Me too.
I can still function with a cold shower. I have a harder time functioning with less sleep. So
yeah, that extra 30 minutes is very important for me.
And I'm kind of high maintenance if you haven't noticed, Zane. So I need every extra minute that I can get.
Well, me too, as you can clearly see.
It takes, you gotta keep this up, right?
I know.
That's extra work. You need more time.
A lot of people are counting on it.
Exactly. I know the beard Christmas party thing. You gotta maintain, man.
I know it. I'm gonna really grow it out this time.
I'm excited. So it looks like we got a comment. You both are great. This is the best. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate the shout out. Well, Zane will be here every Friday. You don't even need anybody else. Actually, he'll just be the one that's showing off the product.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and get into some of the actual items themselves. Zane, do you want to lead off, or would you like me to go first, sir?
Either way is fine. You want to go first?
Sure. Okay. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to give you the case studies like you normally see on Fridays, but Zane's going to give you a little bit of insight into the chaos that comes past his his part of the world, okay? So I have two items. The first one is the ACHC, which this is really just a car cup holder, right? And it is a neoprene, just kind of like our mouse pads that you see. There's different thicknesses on the mouse pads. This one's pretty thick though. What I love about this item is it's kind of like a pot holder in a way. So when I say that, I mean, I'm not going to actually go out and buy a pot holder, but if you give me a pot holder, I'm going to keep it and it's going to stay in my house forever until I die, right? But I feel like a car coaster is the same way. So if you drop this into someone's vehicle, what are the chances that they're going to go, you know what, it's time for me to take that coaster out, right? So it's a really cool way to put an advertisement somewhere where you know people are getting in and out of their car multiple times a day. And it's a full color sublimated piece. So not quite Zane's part of the world, but also a full color capability that we offer. Now where I've seen this used is a couple of different ways. So for instance, the bank, a lot of times when you're doing the drive-through, you have the little chute that you put your checks in and you get your receipt out. Well, when they drop their receipt in, they also put one of these in there. You're already in your car, so you plop it in the cup holder and you're good to go. But a lot of times what they'll do is they'll advertise some spiffs that they're running. So for instance, we have a local bank that says sign up for a savings account and you get a free $50, right? Or do you need a loan for your AC? If it goes out in the summertime, call here, or pieces of contact information to get in touch with them so you can really kind of add service value. So the other one that I've seen is what's fun about this is you have this little handle here, right? So that you can take it in and out and it's easy, right? So pick it up, take it out. So sometimes that looks like a little bite has been taken out of it. So if you're a delivery service of any kind or you do catering, this is a really cool way to give something in the drive-through and get a little piece of real estate. So for instance, I've seen places like Jimmy John's or bakeries where they'll make this look like a cookie with a little bite cut out, or a piece of pizza with a bite cut out. So that's a really cool way to do some fun art that's really colorful, but it's also a little bit fun and funky to where people aren't going, it's just kind of a bland logo. Don't really care if it's in there or not, right? This is something a little cuter. So that's the ACHC, and it's also under $1, which makes an exquisite price point for everybody. And then the other one is an oldie but goodie. So the screen wooden nickel is something that I think we've had since Mark, our owner, was born. So it's kind of a staple piece of Gold Bond. It's literally a wooden nickel, and we never stop running these presses. They're so popular, and they're very cost effective, obviously. There's tons of different ways that you can use it, but I know of two specifically that I'll share with you guys today. So the first one is the obvious, right? You're at a restaurant, maybe you're getting a half off appetizer, free beer. This is a really cost effective way to hand that out for that restaurant or that bar without having to commit to a lot of monetary investment, but try to get people to come in. There's actually a hotel chain called the Moxie, and they just opened up here in Chattanooga. Love that hotel chain. So have you been?
No, I haven't.
You've definitely got to go. You would love it. They have cornhole and all kinds of fun games on the outside. I'll take you. Cool. I'll take you after this. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
So what they do at check-in is they actually give you something just like this, and you check in right at the bar. They don't have a lobby. The bar is the lobby. So you check in, you get one of these, which is for a free drink, and that's their way to get you in, get you mingling with other people that are out there in that kind of courting area, and have a little bit of fun. So that's really fun. And then the other one is actually, you see this right here, it says reading is fun. So this is a cool way to maybe use in an educational field where they can use it as a book club program, or for kids where you get to get points that you can redeem in the bookstore for maybe pencil pouches or drawstring backpacks, things like that. Then they can actually do their summer reading, get a coin for each book that they finish with a book report or something like that, right? So very cost-effective way. You can see total opposite ends of the spectrum, but this item, I would say the presses never stop. So if you need some ideas on how to sell a screen wood and nickel, let us know. Another crowd favorite is you can always use it as a ball marker on the golf course, right? So that works out. But anywho, I'll let you go ahead and get started because you have way more fun stuff.
Oh gosh, this stuff is really fun. Let's see what I've got right here first. Okay, this piece was made several months ago, the Nest Bird Sanctuary, and I love this piece in particular because of the colors. It really shows what the Helix is capable of. If you look closely at it, you can see the varnish layer, which makes it shine on top of the colors, and I just think that's a gorgeous piece.
Yeah. Now, the varnish you apply after, right?
Yes, that's correct. It lays down several layers of color. The first color is white, then it lays down the pigment on top of that, and then a layer of varnish to make it shine and look like it's almost coming out of the drinkware itself.
Yeah, I think the varnish makes a huge difference because sometimes when you don't see the clear on it, it just has a little bit of a flatter look, where I think the clear overcoat gives it almost like a 3D kind of effect sometimes, depending on the art.
Absolutely. There's been some experiments that we've done in the print studio with it too, where we've done where we've printed the same image several times over to raise it up and then print a totally different image on top of it, so you can see the image underneath sticking out and a totally different artwork on
cool.
top. It's incredible. The things that this thing is capable of is impeccable. This piece right here is really fun. I'm not a huge Dukes of Hazzard fan, but I think this looks absolutely amazing on this orange Kong. You see
that's a pretty big imprint on the other side too.
It is, and I think that's a really neat piece.
So can I ask you a question real quick?
Please,
because
absolutely.
I know that we get this question a lot from our customers. This can actually do a 360 wrap,
yes,
right?
It can, absolutely.
So this piece of equipment can do that on anything that item or that machine is capable of printing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's just you have a little bleed on the top and the bottom, but wherever the imprint area is, you can wrap that thing like a Christmas present.
Yeah, and some of them it's very hard to even see the bleed. You know, some of it is almost flawless.
Okay.
I should have brought a couple of examples, but
next week.
Okay, next week sounds good. Let's see here. Okay, this is actually a piece that I made. I'm also a graphic designer, and this is actually a vector portrait that I made of my cat Clusters, and I'm really proud of this. She's a real sweet kitty cat. And let's see.
Why did you name her Clusters?
Well, my son named her Clusters. Actually, Clusters was a cat that I had when I was 10 years old, and she was named after, did you ever eat Clusters cereal by any chance?
Yeah.
Well, there was a chipmunk or a squirrel or something that was the mascot of Clusters cereal, and every time that would come on, my dad and I would crack up, and the next time we got a kitten, it was Clusters.
It was already set in stone.
Yes,
that was her name.
Yes,
yeah, even if it was a boy.
Exactly. Yeah, it didn't matter. Let's see. And and this is also another piece that I've done. This is actually one of the reasons why I brought this is really cool. I drew this back in 1994 when I was still in high school, and the pencil that I used to draw this was a Gold Bond pencil. Isn't that awesome?
How a small world, right?
My dad had zillions of Gold Bond pencils, and it didn't dawn on me until about a month after I had been here that I was very familiar with the name Gold Bond. I probably spent 10,000 hours drawing with those pencils.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I think is super cool about that, too, is just showcasing the way that something can capture so much detail, especially on a drawing, right?
Absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be art like this. This is a pretty intense drawing with the shading and everything.
Yeah, it really does look very much like the actual drawing itself. And in fact, I think it looks even better.
Was that a self-portrait?
No, actually, this is actually Steve Howe, the guitarist of the band Yes. And I was a big Yes fan in high school.
So is that what you're going to do for the lip sync battle royale?
Well, I don't know if we're going to do a Yes song or not, but
you should definitely put that in the hat.
Yeah, that would be very cool. That would be very, very cool.
We're actually in the midst of a corporate lip sync battle royale, so to be continued. You'll see those drip out from our social media here soon. Looks like like we got a little question. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Nathan. How's it going, man? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing okay. All right, we'll keep it moving. You got another...
Okay. Actually, this is another original piece that I did. This is something that I used 4 different computer programs to render. I used Illustrator, I used Photoshop, I used a program called Ultra Fractal, and I also used a really beautiful high-tech sculpture program called ZBrush. And I sculpted the head digitally and then was able to turn it around in 3 dimensions to take a look at it. And then I got the screenshot that I wanted and then started adding the details to it later. Then, put it... sent it to the art department, and they did a fantastic job setting it up for the Helix for me.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you so much.
I like the way you mixed all the different colors in there. It makes it really vibrant on the black background. I think.
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
The white is really pretty because the white just really pops, but the black is really nice and contemporary too, so you really can't go wrong. And even on the colors, you still see it. It puts out a pretty cool imprint, even though the colors are very similar to each other, right?
They really look beautiful in all the different colors that we offer, but my favorites are the white and the black.
Yeah. Definitely. And hey, I like your artist portfolio here. You're quite diverse, man.
I'm telling you, I'm trying my best.
We'll have to find some other stuff to put clusters on.
I know, she needs to go viral.
You need to make her a little Instagram page.
I know it. She would rule it.
I know a guy that can help you with that, right, Josh?
Yep, absolutely.
That sounds good to me.
We're gonna
yeah.
Let's okay,
Kitty
so
clusters. Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
Okay, now this one is one of my favorite pieces. The Cyprus Credit Union logo is just absolutely gorgeous. If you can see that, it shows all the different colors that the Helix can produce, and I just think it is absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the way it's wrapped all the way around. That's really pretty. And the cool thing about this one, this is actually a matte finish, right? Yeah, so like you're seeing the kind of hypergloss here, but then you also see that the colors really still pop on the matte finish as well. So you got a couple of options depending on what your client prefers, but it at least showcases it equally beautifully. So, and this one actually, if you guys see it and vote on it, Zane actually submitted this one for a PPAI Pyramid Award for 2020, right?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Hey, my pleasure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you'll have to come to Vegas with us to bring it home.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm ready right now.
Don't forget, extra 30 minutes of sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I need it for sure.
With your elbows, yeah.
Yes, with my elbows. Yes. And this one is wonderful. I love it for its iconic value. The Idahoan Potato Company, and I think that's a really neat image.
Yeah.
And then this one right here is also.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, please.
I think this one's cool because look at all the fine detail you've got in there.
I know.
There's a ton of lines in here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it prints it like perfectly. So nothing fills in. Everything is exact, which I think gives light to the features of your logo, right? If you have something that's really intricate, a high level of detail, just give it to Zane. He can make it happen.
I love it. That's my favorite thing about the Helix is that it's a very complicated piece of machinery to operate, but when it's working at peak efficiency, the imprint is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
I'm
really
take
is
you on
stunning.
the road with me.
Heck yeah, let's
you
do
go
it.
See some customers?
I would love
Anybody
to.
out there we can see next week? We'll be at the Women's Leadership Conference.
Okay, sounds
Bring
good.
your dress.
I will. Oh, I've got a good one.
Let's see. I love the white cup that has the wrapped look, the Cypress one.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Don't forget to vote, Nathan. We would appreciate that. Thank you, sir. All right, love. You got one more?
Okay, I've got one more. All right. And this one, I chose this one to show because of the red and the green and how beautiful it is against the stainless.
Mm-hmm. You got some gradients in there, too.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's so beautiful.
So, Zane, can you walk us through the process? Like, how long would you say that it takes you to do any one piece? Because I think some of us on the outside who don't get to see things like you do every day, we're a little bit tainted, right? We have that Amazon mindset where we think it just kind of poops itself out automatically, but there's really an art and a process to it, especially when you're color correcting and making sure that the registration fits nicely on the item and all that good stuff. Can you give us any insight into like how long does it take you to do one piece like this?
Well, once we have the artwork downloaded and everything is calibrated correctly, the print can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half. It just depends on how complex the image is and how large it is.
Got it.
There's a whole process to it. You know, the tooling that has to be made for each individual product is very finicky, and it requires a lot of maintenance just to make sure that everything is spinning properly, and that we're able to get the product actually close enough to the print heads to get it to actually look as clean as it looks. But yeah, about a minute on average.
I think that's somebody calling you for an order right now.
I think it is.
Probably personalization, maybe. Yeah.
I'll let the voicemail get it.
Which actually, you can do personalization on this type of decoration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's nothing quite like that. You know, if you get something that is so beautifully made that has your name on it, it just makes you feel, you know, really
That's
good.
A good gift, right?
It is a great gift. Absolutely.
Well, guys, I know you love hearing from production. I know it's really fun when we get to show you guys the way that things get made and some of the people that help make it happen, because you guys are really the shining stars to make sure everything goes out on time and perfectly. But Zane, can you give us just kind of just a understanding of why Gold Bond, right? You're obviously a really talented fellow, but you choose Gold Bond as your home, and I know I super appreciate it.
You know, it's real interesting. All of the things that I've done creatively. I'm a visual artist. I'm also a musician. I was a music instructor for 10 years and an art instructor. And all of the things that I've done have prepared me for operating these highly complex machines. It's very strange. As a recording artist and as a graphic designer and as a fine artist, it's very interesting how all of those skills come into play.
Yeah, well, you're definitely one of a kind, for sure. And I know that anybody out there doing the Helix machine, nobody compares to you, which I so appreciate. And it's so much fun to take.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's so much fun to bring people in on plant tours and let you guys meet Zane and let him show you how things are done. He normally conducts a special surprise, something that's nice with your name on it or something like that, or maybe your kitty clusters or something, right? But if you guys are interested in a plant tour, let us know. If not, we'll be back next week, right, with more goodies. And I'm going to try to stuff Zane in my suitcase and bring him to the Women's Leadership Conference if you guys are going to be there next week. But thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. And Zane, did you have any last words of encouragement for our promo peeps out there?
Well, just this is the greatest company that I've ever worked for. This is a good job, and I intend on keeping it as long as I possibly can. These are good people and good people to do business with.
Thank you, sir. I so appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And I intend on keeping my job too. So tell everybody you know.
I'll pass the word.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Have a good week. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.